Hi Butterfly, it's Eva Lane from anxiousrelief.com, and today I want to talk to you about the difference between caffeine overload and panic attacks and whether one can feed into the other. Now, caffeine, as I'm sure you're aware, is a stimulant. It's something that's in a lot of soft drinks and pop. A lot of energy drinks have a very high amount of caffeine in them, and coffee. Of course, coffee is probably the number one source of caffeine that women in their 30s, like me, the number one source of caffeine that we have in our lives. And if you're anything like me, caffeine is the sort of thing where you kind of need it for that heart starter in the morning, but if you have too much of it, if you have any more than 1 or 2 cups a day, then it can really wig you out. And the effect that it can have on people can't be understated. It can cause heart palpitations, it can cause jitteriness, it can cause quick breathing, sweats. It can make you feel very sweaty and very clammy as well, and cause that hot cold feeling as well, which is it's in no way comfortable. And because it's quite close to symptoms of anxiety, sometimes just having those symptoms themselves can be enough to tip you over into the realms of actually having a panic attack. So step one in getting on top of your caffeine panic attack quandary is to just realize that there is this catch-22 where caffeine is what you need to get you started, but on the other hand, it's definitely what you don't need, because once you are started, it's difficult to tell where you'll stop. But this brings me to step 2, which is awareness of the fact that it is the caffeine that's pushing you over the edge is really powerful. Knowing that the caffeine is what's causing the rapid heartbeat, that's the caffeine is what's causing the racing thoughts sometimes, the inability to concentrate. That is really good knowledge for you to have, because it allows you to see where your levels are. Where you can tolerate caffeine to. Is it 1 cup a day? Is it 2 cups a day? Certainly any more than 8 cups a day, I think you'd agree is way too much and puts you at risk of having high blood pressure and hypertension, as well as a whole range of other things. Sleeplessness at night is one, definitely. But having awareness of what your caffeine level is and understanding at what point do these symptoms, these panicky symptoms, kick in after you've had too much caffeine really will be useful for you. Now, step 3 is where you have to kind of step up and decide what's more important to you. Is it having that extra kick of caffeine that maybe keeps you more focused and awake and on the task more important to you? Or is your ability to enjoy your day peacefully with minimal intrusion from panic more important to you? Is it the taste? I really enjoy the taste of caffeine and coffee. I really love it when my husband makes me a cup of coffee in the morning. It's a really nice thing that he does for me, and if he offers me more than one, I really like to have more than one, but I just have to say no, because I know that any more than one coffee will just send me into anxiety overdrive. I seem to be really, really sensitive to caffeine, and I suggest you do the same thing. Just understand where your level's at and see what happens when you vary your caffeine intake a little bit. Sometimes people find that if they have a coffee after lunch, it can really impact their ability to sleep later that night. 8 or 9 hours later, the caffeine can still be affecting them and still preventing them from being able to go to sleep. It can be a real intrusion into your life. So what you really do need to do is decide what's more important to you. Is it the coffee that's more important, or is it the ability to live a full and free and peaceful life? And then just taking the steps to reduce your caffeine intake. Luckily, there are a lot of other options that are out there these days. You don't have to have a full caffeinated coffee. You can have decaf coffee, or you can have hot chocolate or chai. You can have types of chai tea that don't contain caffeine. You can even have a herbal tea. And I know more than anyone that it can seem like it's a really poor substitute when all you want is the caffeine and the kick that goes with it. But in my case, for the sake of my peace of mind, I really had to just decide that it was 1 cup of coffee a day was all that I could really handle, and anything else beyond that really sends me into really uncomfortable panic territory. So, deciding when and where you want to reduce your caffeine from is a really empowering step to take. You can get withdrawal symptoms when you come off caffeine. You can get increased headaches. You can feel really tired. You can feel crabby and irritable, but you'll feel better in a week. And you can certainly take short-term pain relief if that's what helps you to reduce the caffeine in your life, and therefore reduce the panic in your life, and just help you feel a bit calmer and on track in your daily life. Just don't lose track of the long-term goal, which is to live a happy and harmonious life, free from the intrusion of panic attacks. So I really do urge you to take control of your caffeine intake if you find that it is impacting your ability to live a peaceful life and is giving you panic attacks. Now, the other thing, if you are having a panic attack, if you're in the middle of a panic attack, I have created a panic attack meditation which is designed for you to listen to during the panic attack. And it guides you on a count from 20 down to 1, and during that time your panic symptoms lessen, and by the time you get to 1, your panic attack's over with. And it's really useful and really helpful to just get on top of your panic when you find that you've maybe overdone it on the caffeine and you do find yourself caught in that moment. It's a good way to just get a handle on the symptoms as they're happening. So I do urge you to go over to my website, anxiousrelief.com, and download the free panic attack meditation that I have over there for you. Now go forth, think about your caffeine intake and its impact that it has on your life, and decide whether it might be worth reducing your caffeine intake. Bye for now. Love and light.